Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? It is currently 3:27 a.m. on this rainy Sunday evening going into Monday morning. It is currently 48 degrees outside. The high for Monday, I think, is supposed to be 65. I looked it up earlier on my vlog. And I woke up about 40 minutes ago. And then I was just kind of like laying in bed, half asleep. I woke up from this horrible, horrible nightmare. And in the nightmare, I think I was kind of like lucid dreaming, because I kept on saying to myself, I was like, get me out of this, I was like, and I knew in my nightmare, I was like, there's no way out of this, like, I'm gonna die. And then all of a sudden I just woke up. But like, first I woke up and I was still in a dream, but like I was in a different part of my dream. And I was like kind of like where I had been dreaming before. And I was like, oh my God, like, I like told myself, like in my dream, I was saying this to myself. I was like, I told myself to get out of that, and I could. And then I was like in that other part of the dream, and I knew that they were like trying to pull me back to like the dangerous part of the dream. And I'll explain it in a second. But I knew they were trying to pull me back to this like dangerous part of the dream. And I was like so terrified of that I was like, don't let me go back to that part of the dream. Don't let me go back to that part of the dream. And then I just woke up, like in real life. And then when I woke up, I was like laying there for a second. And Boo Radley was like sleeping real tight right here next to me. It was being real sweet. And I was like, I'm just gonna lay here for like 10 more minutes. And I was like, A, terrified to get up, and B, I was like terrified to fall back asleep into this dream, this nightmare. I don't know why, like laying there, I thought I was gonna fall back into that nightmare. But then there was like huge thunder outside, and Boo Radley like sat up. He hates thunder. And he like sat up, and he like looked at the window, and he was like, he immediately starts shaking. It was interesting. Usually he like claws up my chest, and tonight he didn't do that. Like, Alex and I, our pillows were pushed so close together, and I mean, they weren't like close together, but there was like only that much room in between. And I think that's why he was sleeping next to me instead of between the pillows. And so when he heard the thunder, he sat there for a second. He was like on my chest, like sitting up, and he was like shaking. And then he like moved over in between the pillows, and it was like he was sandwiched in between these pillows. And I like went over to feel, like to pet him to make sure that he was okay and feel him. And he was like shaking like uncontrollably, but he was like between the pillows. And I think for some reason it like made him feel safer or something. He's so sweet. He gets so scared of the storms. Tucker was just like out. He kept on sleeping. Was so cute. What's so funny is, if it's like raining outside and thundering, like Tucker hates the rain, but Boo Radley will go out in it. And if it's like, if he's standing outside and he hears the thunder, like the thunder doesn't scare him at all. It's only like when he's in the bedroom and he doesn't know what it is and he hears that loud noise, that scares him. I think it's also the electricity in the air, or the, you know, the energy or whatever, I think does something to him, because he gets kind of like freaked out by that. But if he's like outside in it and it's thundering and lightning, he doesn't get scared. Just isn't that funny? So let me tell you about this nightmare that I had. Well, first of all, I was like in this house, and the house was dark. Like, I had never been in this house before in my dream. Like, this house was like, I have never been to it, but I knew in the nightmare, or in this part, this was the beginning part of the dream, I knew that it was my mom's house. But isn't it so funny how it looks like light outside? That's like over the mall over there. That's probably why it looks light. But anyway, I knew in this nightmare that, like, I was at my mom's house, or I was, like, at a house that she stays in, and, but my friend, a friend of mine, one of my friends from Seymour, she was staying there, and her wife was staying somewhere else and was coming back. Like, they were, like, house sitting for my mom or something, but, like, for a long time. Like, for, like, 6 months or a year, they were house sitting. And I was, like, going through socks in, like, my mom's room. She had, like, all these socks, like, on, like, next to her bed. And I was going through and I was, like, arranging them. And, it was so weird. It was like, I remembered this. I had like a pair of socks. I had 2 pairs of socks that were like this. I had one that were like navy blue. They were like you know, like a I don't even know how to explain it. Like a crew sweater. I don't really know how to explain it. But anyway, they were like this sweater material. And then I had like khaki ones too. Well, the khaki ones were the very first pair of socks that I bought I bought them with these Birkenstock sandals when I was in high school. These green suede Birkenstock sandals. I got them when I was in Arizona. And the socks were in this pile. And then it was like all of these, honestly, like it was like the socks I remembered, like from my past. Like, it was really weird. Like all of these old socks. Like some that I liked, some that I hated, like it was like, but they were like all like different, like they all stood out to me, and they were in this pile, and I was going through and I was sorting them, and I was deciding like, well, I cleaned out the cabinet tonight. I'll get to that in a second, but that might have something to do with it, probably because I was throwing stuff out and keeping stuff and whatever, and but I was going through like all these socks. And then there was like this girl there. I didn't know who this girl was, but she was a friend of my friend's. And she had a friend with her. And they were real weird and different. And I like wanted them to go. And so I was telling my friend, I said, tell her that we have to go grocery shopping. And then that way we can like get her out of the house. Because I'm ready for her to go. And she was like, okay. And so then that was when I was like sorting the socks. And then I heard this girl like moving around in the living room. And I was like, what's going on? Oh, I asked her where my friend was. I was like, where's my friend? And she was like, she left. And I go, what do you mean she left? And she said she left to go to the grocery store. And I said, no, she and I were supposed to go to the grocery store together. She goes, well, she went to the grocery store. I said, get her on the phone. I said, why did she go to the grocery store without me? This car's acting crazy. I was like, why did she go to the grocery store without me? So she like called my friend and put her on speakerphone. And my friend was like, you told me that you were going to meet me at the grocery store. And I was like, what? And it was real weird. Like, I was like, something's up. She's trying to get me to this grocery store. I couldn't figure it out. This goes into the next part. So this girl was like, I was like, well, I have to leave to go meet her in the grocery store, so you better leave. And she was like, okay. So she left. But she was like, be careful or something like that to me. So anyway, I have like so many drinks here. I was like, Tanya and I went and got a fountain pop, and I got this bubbly sparkling water. It's actually not bad. But I really wish I just had, you know what, I do have a bottle of water back here. I wonder if I can reach it. So she was like, be careful. And I was like, be careful of what? And she was like, I'm just telling you, you better be careful. And so then I was like, I was going to the grocery store, and when I got to the grocery store, it was like they were putting people in lines. This guy was like putting people in lines, and Then he took us into the back of this grocery store, and the back of this grocery store was like church pews. Well, first it was just like this large open room, and the floors were like floors in like a school, like a high school, or you know what I'm talking about, like a junior high or some high school or something like that, like those parquet floors, you know. And like all these people were just kind of like standing around. I have a feeling I'm not gonna be able to reach this water because I have it like tucked underneath the seat. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to get it, but I'm gonna open this Diet Coke because I have Diet Coke too. I just want something like really cold. Do you ever feel like that? So it was like all these people, and we were all standing in this room, and he kept on looking and talking to me like I was cool, like, not like I was cool, like I had, like, you know, hey, he's cool, but like I was good, you know what I mean? Like, he was like, you're good. He was like, you're good, dude, you're good, kind of thing, you know? And I was like, okay, and I knew that he was like really dangerous. Okay, so then he started getting like really freaky, like at the top of his lungs. And he was like screaming at these people and telling them they were gonna die. And he started like, he had these huge knives, and he and these other guys, and they were dressed in like khakis and like button down collared shirts, and they had like really like clean cut haircuts, and they were like slicing these people's necks. I mean, like just ear to ear slicing them. And he was like, and there were probably like 30 people in this room, and he was going around, and then he would like hand me the knife. He's like, do you want to do it? And I'm like, no, I'm okay. And he was like, you're good, dude, you're good, dude. And I was like, I have to act like I'm part of this to like stay alive in all of this, you know? And he was like, you're good, dude, you're good, and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, okay. And he was like, then he'd like slit somebody's throat, and like blood would go everywhere. I mean, I was terrified in this nightmare. So then they ushered us through this room, and this room was really small. Okay, and what's so weird was, it was like the staircase in the church that I grew up in, that was like in the Sunday school area. It was like that, and then all of a sudden we're in this like room that has these pews, but it wasn't like a church. It was like our church growing up had like the main like church room, and then it had like the chapel, but we didn't call it a chapel. I can't remember what we called it. But anyway, and then there was like the school, like the Sunday school, and then they would, but not every room had pews in it, but some of them did, because some of them were like teaching rooms. It was like that. It was like in the basement of like a church or something, and we had to like go through this like small room, and he was like, okay, everybody take off their coats and their hats. And we were like taking off our coats and our hat, and he was like, take off your coat. He was like, I had a vest on, and he was like, take your vest and your hat off. And I had on it's so funny because now I know, I was like, earlier I was thinking about, where did this D squared hat that I had that was denim, and I was wearing it in this nightmare. But I had this big wallet. It was like this pink wallet, and it had my phone in it, like hooked inside of it. And so I pushed record, and I hid the wallet on this bookshelf in like this coat closet that we were walking. He was like, come on. And I like pushed it up on the bookshelf so that like if we were all killed, somebody would know what happened if they found my phone. And I was sitting in this pew, and he was like, you too. And like, I knew that like, he wouldn't have had me take off my hat and this vest if I wasn't going to get killed. And I knew that they were just going to go from person to person to person and slit our throats. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to die. Like in my dream, I was terrified, you guys. Like I was terrified. And I was like, I don't know what to do, and I don't want to die. And like, I can't believe that like this is actually happening, and I don't want to be here. And I kept on thinking like, I don't want to be here. But in my nightmare, I also knew me thinking like, I don't want to be here wasn't gonna get me anywhere. It wasn't gonna do anything, you know? And, the next thing I knew, I was, like, standing in that house of my mom's that was, like, real dark. It was like there was, like, a bedroom, and then there was, like, an entry area, or not an entry area, but there was, like, this middle room that was just, like, nothing was in there, and then there was, like, a kitchen in the back, and then there was, like, 2 other bedrooms, and that was it. It was, like, this really dark house. And I was, like, standing in the middle of that bedroom, and I was like, oh my God. Like, I wished myself out of that nightmare. How did I do that? And then I was like, in my head, I was like, was I lucid dreaming? And I'm still in the dream when this is happening, right? And I'm like, was I lucid dreaming? Like, how did I get myself out of that nightmare? Like, I for sure thought I was going to end up dead. And I'm not dead. I'm here. Somebody put a Christmas tree on top of their house. That's interesting. And I'm like, I don't know how I didn't end up dead. I'm still here. So then I was like, there, and then the next thing I knew, like, I woke up, and, like, woke up for real. And then I was, like, scared to death. Oh, when I was back at the house, I knew they were, like, trying to come and get me, like, in some kind of, like, dream world thing. Like, I knew they were, and I knew it was, like, through my phone, like, camera. Like, they had hooked a device to, like, come in through the camera or something. Because I was like, oh my God, I left my phone there. And they're going to figure out my phone in my wallet. And I was like, they're going to figure out who I am. And what's so weird is that's what I was thinking when I, like, woke up for real. And I was like, I can remember sitting there for a second, and I was like, I reached over, and I was like, oh my God, I have my phone, thank God. Like, my first thought was, like, in the real world, I was like, oh my God, I have my phone. Like, they can't come and get me. They can't come get me. Because it was like the Matrix kind of thing. Like, they could come through the phone and get me kind of thing. I read some book like that this year. It's probably where it came from. But anyway, I was like, okay, thank God they can't come get me through this phone. And so, like, because I grabbed my phone and I had it on the table next to me. And then I was like, wait, that was, like, all a dream. And then I was like, do you ever, like, wake up from a nightmare and you're still scared? Like, I was still, like, scared for a couple minutes. I was like, I don't want to fall asleep again and go back into that nightmare. But I also didn't want to walk downstairs and go outside because I was still scared. And then it was like a couple minutes later, and Boo Radley was like, or he was like shaking, and then it was like lightning outside, and I was like, what is going on? Oh my gosh, scary night. So that was my horrible nightmare. Here was my day today. I got up, slept in. Oh, well, last night, y'all know, I went to bed at like 11 or 12. I can't remember what time. I think it was more like 12. I thought it was like 11 originally, but like we didn't even get back to the house till like 11:30, so I think it was like 12. Got a full night's sleep last night, but then I was tired all day today, and I think from sleeping so much in bed, my back like hurt all day. It was like my lower back, and I think it was from sleeping on my stomach. So, yeah, I was just like exhausted, tired all day today. So we went to brunch and had our usual at brunch. Everything was the same as usual, except for that they had snickerdoodle coffee today. And I got a large orange juice. And I ordered a small, but they only had large glasses. And she was so funny because she was like, hey, she was like, I'm going to only charge you for a small. She's like, but we only had large glasses left. And I said, you know what? That's really good because I wanted a large. But if I order, because sometimes when I order like a large, I don't drink the whole thing. And I was like, and then I feel stupid because their large orange juices are like literally twice as, I mean, as they should be, twice as much money. And so if I don't drink it, I feel like it's wasting it, you know? And so I said, hey, I said, I didn't want to I wanted a large, but I didn't want to order one. And she goes, see, it worked out. And I go, oh, thanks. So, is that Steak and Shake completely just like out of commission now? It's like, I don't know if Steak and Shake is going out of business. Well, no, because the other night I drove by Steak and Shake, a different one, and it was packed. So anyway, we had a great brunch today, and then I vlogged afterwards, because I hadn't vlogged last night. Well, Alex wanted to go to the mall, so I took him to the mall so we could, I already talked about that, so we could go to Abercrombie. So then I vlogged, and then when I got done vlogging, what did I do? I talked to Tanya Jean on the phone. She was working because they're full at the kennel. And I was texting with some other people. And then I came home after vlogging. I was like really undecided whether or not I wanted to make videos today, but Alex was watching movies at home, so that kind of made it a little bit easier for me. So I was like, I am just going to let him watch movies. He watched Encanto, and he watched Black Widow, and then he was watching Schitt's Creek episodes. And so I was like, I'm just gonna let him enjoy his day and not have to have his, you know, headphones on and stuff. He was like, I can put my headphones on, it's not that big of a deal. I was like, babe, you just enjoy yourself. So then I made a Totino's pizza for, he wanted one too. I asked him, I said, do you want a Totino's pizza? Because I bought them at the store the other day. So I made us Totino's pizzas, and then I got out. I'm like really into these stuffed olives, you guys. We took them over to Alex's mom on Christmas Eve. Get him at Kroger. Alex is obsessed with well, you can get him a lot of different places, but that's where we got him. He got I got these feta stuffed olives, and you guys, they are so good. But I also got garlic stuffed olives. Those are the least favorite of mine. And then blue cheese stuffed olives. And I'm like obsessed with these olives now. And then I had this like pub cheese that I was dipping like the bagel chips in. And then the Totino's pizza. I had a little smorgasbord going on, you know. And I was trying to figure out something I wanted to watch on. I want to watch some true crime documentaries. And so I picked this one. I was like looking through the ones on Netflix. There was something I was going to watch, and then I was like, oh, I've already watched this. So I was going to watch this one called, if you guys have recommendations for true crime documentaries, put them below. I know that you don't know which ones I've seen and which ones I haven't, but I've seen like the major ones, like the Keepers, The Staircase, Making of a Murderer. I've seen all those. Love those. Middle Beach, Relentless. I saw Hell in the Heartland. Oh, that was such a good one. But I want to watch some more. So if you have other ones, let me know. I'm going to put it in the comment section below. So I started watching this one called Why Did You Kill Me? And it was about this girl that was like in a drive-by like shooting kind of thing. And it was like in Riverside, California. And it was like in a gang area. And she was in a car with her brother. I think it happened like in 2002 or 2006. And, I mean, true crime documentaries are sad, right? But like this was really sad. And I was like, so then like her cousin goes in and tries to figure out like who did it by setting up a fake MySpace account. And I'm like watching this, and it's like, it's really sad. And I just was like, I want to watch something that's a little bit more fun right now. So I started watching Christmas Chronicles too, because I still have to finish that. So I went in to finish Christmas Chronicles too. And there is somebody at the gym right now. Look at them working out at the gym. All right for you. 3:51 in the morning. So I started watching the Christmas Chronicles, but I only watched like 10 minutes of it, and then I started putting my stuff away, and I was so tired. It was like 5 after 10, and I was like exhausted, and I was like, I am going to bed. And Tanya texted me, and she said, "Fountain?" with a question mark. Well, I hadn't seen Tanya, you know, for the last couple days, because she's been busy with family, and so have I. So I really wanted to see Tanya. So I was like, babe, do you care if I go get a fountain pop with Tanya? He was like, no, I don't care at all. He was watching that Black Widow movie. So, he said Encanto was cute, Black Widow was really good. Those were his reviews. So, but I think I heard him crying during Encanto, so it must have been really good. He loves Disney movies. I need to make a list. Well, okay, so anyway, then I went and got a fountain Coke with Tanya. I'll pick up there in just a second. So tonight, I was going to start making like a list of my goals for 2022, like my goals and my intentions and everything that I want to like achieve in 2022. But I also want to make a list of like movies that I want to watch. Like this year I want to see all the Harry Potter movies. I want to finish the books. I'm doing that in 2022. I'm finishing the Harry Potter books and I'm watching all the movies. That's happening, okay? And then, and I hopefully in the winter. And then I want to watch the Godfather movies. And then I also think as far as reading goes, I think I want to read like one classic a month. This is like hoping that I would read 8 books a month, 2 each week, right? Okay. So that would be, what, 104 books plus 1 would be 5. I think I'm going to make, my goal this year was 102. I think I'm going to make my goal 103. Maybe 104. Or maybe I'll just keep it the same. I don't know what I'm going to keep my goal at this year. Or I may just make my goal 100. And I feel like I should up it though, right? So maybe 104. I mean, at some point, I'm not going to make my goal like so big that like I just can't attain it. You know what I mean? So I feel like I want to read like one classic a month, and that can be any kind of classic. Like that doesn't have to be like, that could be like a Southern lit, like, you know, in the 40s or 50s. That doesn't have to be all that. And then I also want to read, well, I was going to do like one autobiography a month, but I don't, and like one self-help book a month, but that's like 3 books out of my month that I'm going to want to read cozies and stuff like that. So maybe like one self-help book every other month and one autobiography every other month is what I'll do, something like that, to learn more about people's lives. I don't know. Or maybe I'll just add nonfiction books to my list of books. I just don't love nonfiction. It's the problem. I love fiction books. So I should read what I want to read, right? So maybe just one classic a month, because I would like to read more classics that I haven't read. I actually picked my book for Peter's Book Club for January 2022. I won't say what it is yet, but I will say that it is an homage to somebody that just recently passed away, an author that just recently passed away. And it is not a new book. So that's what I'm picking for January for Peter's Book Club. And then Mel and I still have to pick a book for True Crime Book Club. And then I think our first, well, I think the December book club will probably be a week from Sunday. Because I know next week, I think Alex and I are going to be, well, I just want to relax with my husband next weekend, because he is going to have like a long weekend again. And it's been really nice just like hanging out and spending some time with him. So I don't want to spend like our last Sunday before we go back to like regular working. I mean, he's working this week, but he's only working a couple days. So I'll talk to Mel about it and see what works best for her, but we'll probably do it a week from Sunday, our next book club live stream. And then it stopped. Can't believe it stopped already. What else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so then I went and, well, before I went and got a fountain pop with Tanya, and before, where's my lip balm? And before I started watching a documentary and eating food, well, first of all, while I was vlogging, and then, I feel like I just like drove around and listened to some music. I haven't like, I did do that because I have listened, where is that lip balm? I have like, I'm grabbing everything in here but my lip balm. Here it is. Now y'all know I love the Christmas music, right? But I'm ready to hear some other music. So I drove around today and I just kind of listened to my iTunes and I shuffled it. I also contacted each of the winners for the Cozy Christmas contest and contacted them about the gift card and setting up a time to like do like a FaceTime call or whatever. So got in touch with all of them. I think they all I'm pretty sure they all responded. Yeah. And so then, so we have these kitchen cabinets, you know, the cabinets in the kitchen that you see in the back of videos and stuff. Well, the ones farthest to the left, like farthest to the living room, like that is all just like the top ones, like the two cabinets. It's like paper, notebooks, pens, books, coins. I mean, it is just junk up there, right? And then the drawers underneath it are the same way. Both drawers are total junk drawers. And then underneath it is like a lot of junk on top of my mom's like dishes. And we have never once used those dishes in 13 years, but I have this like resistance to get rid of them because they're nice dishes and it's just time for them to go. So I was like, okay, the cabinets, the drawers, and I have like all this list of all these things I want to clean in the house. I have, you know, forever, but I was like, okay, I'm getting serious about this. So I sat there today while Alex was watching Encanto and I cleaned out the cabinets. I got the cabinets done. They are spotless, absolutely spotless. To the right in the cabinet as you open it are legal pads of paper that I have left and Post-it notes. To the left is tape, Scotch tape that will go in the drawer, and envelopes. And then in the top right-hand corner, and then to the left on the second thing is, what do you call it? Some change that I'm going to be taking to the coin machine here this week. And then, this thing that, like, I keep, like, my necklaces and some necklaces and stuff like that. And then to the top, is where all the notebooks that I have. And then I took a bunch of stuff to the basement. And then to the left at the top is, I just ordered some new masks. And I bought like 2 containers of masks. They're these masks that my hairstylist uses and I really like them. They're like black inside and on the outside and they like are really snug. And, but they're made of like that medical grade material, you know? So she told me which one she ordered on Amazon and I ordered 2 containers of those. And then we have pink masks left and we have some more black masks left. So those masks are all at the top up there. So we can just take those as we leave. And now, and I put everything away. We had like 10 pairs of sunglasses up there, you guys. Sunglasses that we got before we were married. I have like 3 pairs of Ray-Bans up there. And then I had my Caddis sunglasses that I couldn't find. Because I bought a pair of Caddis sunglasses last year to read. Like, they don't really like work as well as I thought they would. I was really excited about them, but they're not like great in the sun. Maybe they would be with like a book, but with like a phone, they're not great. And then Alex has these 2 pairs of like Roberto Cavalli sunglasses and a pair of Coach sunglasses that he had from like way back in the day. And I was like, you don't want to keep those? And he was like, no. He was like, I'm going to give them to like my mom because she'll wear these. She'll really like them. And then I had a pair of these Dolce & Gabbana sunglasses that I bought, like, to wear to my mom's funeral, and they, like, really mean a lot to me, and I found them up there. I couldn't believe it. I was really happy about that. And then on our wedding, when we were in Las Vegas, I bought a pair of these Versace sunglasses that only really fit my head when I'm very thin, but I was like, you know what, I'm going to keep these sunglasses because I really like them. They're green. The frames are green. They're really cool. And they're kind of like a different shape. They're more of like a, kind of like a octagon shape. They're really cool. And they mean a lot to me because I wore them on that whole trip. And we were like, the trip of getting married. We keep all of our sunglasses upstairs now in this thing. Oh, that was the other thing. So Alex built his nightstand tonight. So we finally have matching nightstands. And then he also built my shoe stands for the closet. And he put all my shoes on it, which was really, really nice. So I have that in the closet. And then I have to clean out my clothes closet too. So I'm going to probably do that one night this week. Tomorrow night I have my literature group at 8 o'clock, and on Tuesday night I have my home group meeting. So, and one other night this week I have a commitment during the night. So, it's 3 recovery things I have to do this week. Well, 1 during the day, so it's 4 actually. So I will be busy with that. And then Friday night, we're going to dinner and we're going out to Envy nightclub for New Year's Eve. I'm really, really excited about that. We're going with Melissa and Jason. Alex's girlfriend is going with us. And then we are going with another couple that we're friends with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it's 7 of us. Because it was supposed to be 2 girlfriends of Alex's, but one girl can't go because she's going to do something with this girl that was supposed to be in town over Christmas, but it's coming in town over New Year's instead. So there's going to be 7 of us instead of 8 of us. And I'm really excited. It'll be fun. And Peter and Jason orchestrated this whole thing. Can you believe that I am excited about going out for New Year's Eve? I am kind of excited about it, though. I'm kind of like, okay, I'm going to get a cute outfit. Although today, I have a pair of blue velvet pants. I don't even know if they fit. But I was going to wear them with my Doc Marten platform boots. And I didn't know what kind of shirt. I was going to wear them with maybe I have like a navy, dark, it's almost black, navy blue turtleneck sweater, like Calvin Klein. I was going to maybe wear it with that. But Alex goes, I was like, what are you going to wear on Friday night? He goes, I might wear he has a blue velvet suit. And he goes, I might wear my blue velvet suit. I was like, oh, I was thinking about wearing my blue velvet pants. And he was like, you totally should. And I was like, yeah, twinsies. Which is so funny, because back in the day, I would have loved to dress like twins. I mean, I don't think it's that big of a deal for both of us to wear, like, very similar kind of thing like that. You know, my pants are different they're like a different color than his suit is. I look back on all the years that we went out, and I remember this one year, I was probably 185, 190. I mean, a good 70, 80 pounds thinner than I am now, right? And I thought I was heavy then, because that's how my body dysmorphia works. But I don't think I've ever just been, like, happy in my weight, ever. I've actually been happier now, heavier, because I've just dealt with some acceptance than when I was actually thinner, you know, and working out and in good shape. But I remember we went one year to New Year's, and you know, my hair was dark and it was parted on the side and like very suave over and suave, you know, and I had a black suit on with a crisp white shirt on and a black tie. I literally looked like a mobster, and all of these women were coming up to me that night and they were like, oh my God, you look so good. And I had such a good time that year. I felt really good. That was like one time I really did feel actually really good. I don't love to dress up like every day. Like, I would hate if my job was something where I had to dress up every day. I just would hate it. But I do like to dress up on occasion and get like dressed really nice. But if I'm thinner and like a suit fits me and is comfortable, like the worst thing ever is, like, if you're heavier, you know what I'm talking about. The worst thing ever is to be heavier and go to something that's dressy and be like uncomfortable at it. Because you don't really enjoy yourself because you're in something that's uncomfortable. And so what I have just done the last couple years is opt out of something that is like super cute, because then it doesn't look cute either. I'll buy it thinking it'll look cute, but then it ends up looking frumpy and I'm not comfortable in it, and then I'm like, what's the point? So I am gonna do, oh, look at that, they're driving around, their little dog looks just like Tucker. Oh. So I am gonna do some shopping towards the end of the week though, and try to maybe find a New Year's outfit. I thought that would be fun to do on New Year's Eve, like for Alex and I to go shopping and look for some new things. But if I don't find anything, then I am going to probably wear a pair of black jeans and one of these white and black polka. I have it in black and white, and I also have it in blue and white. That polka dot shirt that I've worn like a million times. You guys, I have it like 2 in black and white short sleeve, 2 in blue and white short sleeve, and then I have like 1 of each long sleeved. I have like 6 of them, because they just kept on going on sale, and I would buy a new one. They're that Club Room brand at Macy's, but they're really, I like them, and they fit me good. So, worst case scenario, I will wear a pair of black jeans, the black and white polka dot, because it's just a very clean, crisp shirt. I actually have one that's brand new on the hanger in the closet, and then my black Doc Marten boots, and that will be what I wear for New Year's Eve. And if I was a lot thinner, I don't know, because we're going to a nightclub, if I would wear a suit. I think I would wear like like a rock star, kind of a mix between like a rock star, well, like my idea of a rock star, and like David from Schitt's Creek, David Rose. And I would wear like black jeans, some like ridiculous platform black boots, and then I would wear like a button-down collared shirt, like tuck shirt that came down to kind of like right at my knees, with like a biker jacket over it, and my hair just real messy. That's what I would wear out if I was thin. I mean, I guess I could wear that out anyway. I don't really know where I would buy that outfit though, and I'm not spending all this money on a biker jacket when I have 3 in my closet. And Alex wears my favorite biker jacket ever. I bought this biker jacket. It's a diesel biker jacket. I got it at a consignment store, and I bought it for $60, and I looked it up online, and it's a $1,200 leather jacket. And this, I also have a diesel denim jacket that I got that has all these, it came with all these buttons and stuff on it, and it's like just like, what's that called, deconstructed. You guys, it doesn't fit me either right now. It hasn't fit me in a couple years, and I got a really, really good deal on that. That was like it was like $600 or $800, and I ended up getting it for like 30 or 40 bucks. That was when we had good consignment stores in Indianapolis for men. There are a couple for women here, but not so many for men. And although there's this place here in Indianapolis called Simply Chic, have you guys heard of it? And they supposedly have some like really good stuff in it, so I'm gonna look around at those places. But yeah, that's what I would wear for New Year's Eve. But I'm excited for New Year's Eve. And then I don't think we have any plans for New Year's Day. probably just hang around and watch TV and stuff like that. And then that's Saturday. And then Sunday, I don't know what we'll do. Probably more of the same. And then Monday is the beginning of the year. Countdown to Miami. Woo! Countdown to Ultra Music Festival in Miami. Can't wait. This Diet Coke tastes so good. And it's gonna start raining again. I gotta start booking my birthday trip and figuring out exactly what I want to do. I was kind of like throwing out the Vegas Miami thing as just kind of like a plan C in case I couldn't find like other places to go. But now, like, the closer I get to my birthday, I kind of think that sounds like a lot of fun, actually. I mean, we love Miami and we love Vegas. The only thing is Miami can be a little risky. Well, I mean, and so can the Caribbean. This is the thing. In June, you know? Like, we went to Miami for our anniversary a couple years ago, and we went to, I was trying to figure out something in my head. Alex and I go back and forth about renewing our vows and trying to figure out where we want to do it, and we both really kind of want to do it in Miami, at that place called The Deck, which would be super expensive. I don't know how much that would be, but I was like, okay, this is my 50th, and Alex will be 38 this year, and then next year is his 39th, and it's not anything for me, and then the following year is Alex's 40th. God, I can't even believe that. It seems so bizarre to me. It seems so bizarre to me that we'll have been together, well, if we're still together by then, 16 years. I shouldn't say it that way, should I? Just living in reality. But if we were to renew our vows, next year would honestly make a lot of sense, because that would be the year that we weren't, because I know for his 40th he's going to want to go to Thailand. I already know that. So I mean, he's mentioned that like several times. So that means that next year would be the year that we wouldn't be spending a lot of money for a birthday trip. So next year would be the smart. We had talked about doing it this year, but now we're getting kind of down to the wire of planning it. And I mean, not really. I mean, it's January 1st, right? But like, I don't know that I want to save money for my birthday and our wedding at the same time. Like, that can end up becoming like, that Miami could be an expensive trip. I mean, it would be fun for all of us to stay in like the same hotel, whoever we had. I also don't want it to be like a huge deal either. Like, we had talked about, like, for our renewal, like if we were going to do Vegas, just inviting like a ton of people and whoever wanted to come. My idea originally, okay, was that I wanted to get married at like the Whitechapel by Elvis in Las Vegas, right? And I thought that would be really fun to like renew our wedding vows. And I mean, if 50 people wanted to come, they could all come. Like, it could just, you know, and we just say, this is where we're staying, come. We're not going to do a reception. We're just going to all go out that night, you know, whatever. And Alex was like, no, like, I really want to do like a nice vow renewal, which I mean, I do too. But it's basically like having a wedding all over again, and that can be really expensive. It's like, I don't know that I would rather do an expensive vow renewal, or if I would just like to have, like, we had also talked about just having Jason and Melissa come with us somewhere on a trip, and then we would renew our vows, and they would witness it, and then the four of us would just be on a nice trip together. But then we started talking about having like a renewing our wedding vows, basically having like a whole other wedding all over again. Well, that's expensive, especially like Alex was like, we could do the deck in Miami, and we could have that guy that's the electric violinist, because we both really loved him. We could have the electric violinist play. I'm sure that's probably $5,000, plus the deck is probably super, I mean, it's one of the most expensive restaurants there, you know. And then he was like, we could do our rehearsal dinner at Sugar, and I'm like, oh my God, like this is becoming so expensive, you know. And then block rooms at the One, and I'm like, oh my God, like we're talking about a $30,000, like seriously, to renew our wedding vows, like. So I don't know, we need to figure out, we need to sit down and talk about how we want to do that. That's kind of something though, honestly, like you have to take emotion out of it, like when you're talking about it. It's like, because it can't be like, well, if you don't want to do it the way that I want to do it, or if I don't want to do it the way that you want to do it, then like you don't care about the marriage as much as I do. You have to be very careful with that kind of stuff, and we're actually really good at having those kind of conversations. I mean, if I had unlimited funds, don't get me wrong, I would love to have it be a blown out thing. I'd love to have, like, you know, a white Rolls pick us up at the One and take us to the deck, and us roll up with 100 of our closest friends. 100 of Alex's closest friends, 5 of mine, and you know, and just have this really big blowout wedding renewal, where then at the end we got on a yacht, like, you know, in the harbor, and it took us to the Bahamas for our honeymoon. I would love that, you know what I mean? But like, okay, that's a couple $100,000. We don't have that. So, and even if I did have that, I don't know that that's how I would want to spend it, in all honesty. I mean, we're already married. So I don't know. I don't know. I do not know. Only the shadow knows. I have to say, though, I am kind of excited. Like, this week I'm going to keep the Christmas stuff up, and I'm still feeling very Christmassy. I did feel real jealous of Raw Beauty Christie today, because she woke up to 2 feet of snow on Christmas, or she woke up to like a white snowy Christmas, and this is what she tweeted out. And then today they woke up to 2 more feet of snow or something, and their electricity was out, and they were snowed in. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, that's my dream, right? I mean, I hope they're safe, but that's my dream. And so I'm still like real into kind of the Christmassy, I'm into the wintry mood a little bit, but like I'm ready for the stuff to come down. I'm ready for the Christmas trees to come down. I'm ready for us just to like, okay, now let's do the countdown to summer kind of deal, you know, and get ready for the summer. And I told Alex the other day, I said, yeah, I'm really hoping this summer we have a lot of really, really nice weather. And he goes, you had a lot of, I said, where I can like lay out like every day. And he goes, you had a lot of nice weather last summer. I said, oh, no. We had quite a few cloudy, rainy days. I said, I didn't get to use my membership a lot this last summer, which I am like, I need to decide whether or not I want to do that pool membership again. But I said, I didn't use my membership a lot last summer. And I said, there just were a lot of days that were real cloudy that I just didn't get to really enjoy my day, you know, or the days outside in the sun. So the other thing is, going into January, I want to be very structured. Don't laugh, seriously though. But I want to be real structured. I mean, not every day, but most days where I'm like, okay, this is what I'm doing every day. And I have been making lists, like typing up lists. And I did find a clipboard today. It was too small for my list, but I kept it anyway. And I'm going to get a bigger clipboard, because now I have a reason to buy office supplies, because I have a place to keep them, you know? And so, oh my God, I'm so excited. The Alice Oseman new Heartbreaker graphic novel comes out the 4th of January, and I cannot wait to just like read straight through that book. So that was just kind of a little side note. Because I was thinking about, this is what I was actually thinking about our Sharpies, and that we keep our Sharpies like underneath the cabinet, like some of them, but then we also keep more Sharpies over where I keep all of my graphic novels. And then I was like, oh, the Alice Oseman graphic novels are over there. January 4th, the new Alice Oseman novel comes out. I can't wait to read it. See, that's how my thinking thinks. Now you guys know how, that's how my drummer drums. Now you know how, see, and that sounded like that song, so I sang, did you get it? Now you know how I think. Okay, so anyway, but I need to be more structured going into January. This week, I have some plans, okay? I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna make out, like, my intentions and my goals for 2022 and my dreams. And then I'm going to meditate on those this whole week. And then I'm going to also, I want to sit down and look at the things I have achieved in 2021, right? Because I think sometimes when we're making our goals and our dreams list and our intentions and resolutions, which I don't like that word, y'all know, but I think sometimes we don't look at the things we have achieved, right? We only look at the things we haven't done that we want to continue to work on. So I'm going to look at the things that I've achieved in 2021 and then come up with a plan on how to achieve those things and come up with like a structured plan going into 2022. I think one of my goals in 2022 would be, I mean, I've been posting a lot every day, at least I would say on 3 to 4 channels, right? Which I think is a lot. Ideally, and I know that not everybody would watch all of them, ideally I would love to post on 6 channels a day. But I think that's kind of unrealistic. And I also think, like I was talking about earlier in my video, I think it's unrealistic to think, I was like, that person is like following me down the same road that I'm going on at, like, what, 4:23 in the morning? Like, what is going on? But they weren't. I also think it's unrealistic to think that people are going to watch 6 channels a day. And I think that's one thing I have to keep in mind going into 2022. But I am going to keep on vlogging every single day, obviously. The other thing, you know what's crazy to me is, I was looking at tonight, like, and I don't look at this very often, but I was looking at how many views a video I get over here, which it has been a lot, it's a lot less than it used to be. But, you know, during lockdown, this channel, more than any of my other channels, like, the views, like, quadrupled. Not quadrupled, but, like, they were 3 times as much as what I'm getting now. Like, I get anywhere from, like, 2,000 to 3,000 views a video right now. During lockdown, like, average views were, like, 3,000 to 5,000 views a video. And I think it was because people were at home, and I don't know, but I think that's interesting, don't you? I look at a lot of these, like, TikTok stars that came out of lockdown, like, their careers started during lockdown, and a lot of Instagrammers and things like that, like, really utilize that time to, like, build their platforms and their business. Really want to do some new things in 2022. Melissa and I really need to figure out this podcast, and if we're going to do it, and if we're going to, I mean, we are going to do it, but when it's the time to do it. I would be even, like, at this point, oh my God, there were all these deer that were, like, in this, there's, like, these tall, like, weeds, so not weeds, but tall, like, things, trees or something. They were standing inside of them. I'd almost be like, let's just put it off until, like, next Halloween, but, like, be super committed to it. She wants to start it sooner rather than later. We just need to sit down and come up with a schedule of how we're going to do it. And I also need to learn a lot about this podcasting stuff, since I'll be the one doing the majority of, like, the editing and stuff on there. I mean, she'll help me with it, and Jason will help me with it, but like, I need to, like, walk through it and see how to do it and stuff like that. So, but I'm excited about that. I was going through these notebooks tonight, and I had all these outlines for books and stuff. It kind of made me a little sad, really. Like, I was like, okay, at some point, you've got to start, like, getting rid of some stuff, you know, like, you're not going to keep everything. And I did keep most of the notebooks that had my outlines in it, because I was like, if I ever want to, like, refer back to these. I mean, I have this one notebook that I have, like, entire books outlined, like, chapter by chapter. Like, all I'd have to do is sit down and write the book. My camera stopped again. I was like, maybe I'll get inspired again to write a book this year. Will it be a cozy mystery? Will it be one of the books I've outlined? Will it be all of it? One of the things that I love about thinking about the future and just life is that the possibilities are just limitless, you know? You want to write a book, write a book. If you want to be a painter, be a painter. If you want to sing songs, sing songs. I mean, the world is just limitless with possibilities of what you can achieve and what you can put your mind to and what creative things you can do if you want to do them, you know? And there are so many things that I want to do, and I had kind of like written off the whole idea, no pun intended, written off. I had kind of written off the whole idea of writing another book. And then I saw these outlines tonight and these notebooks. I mean, I had like 5 notebooks dedicated to these books. And I thought, well, maybe, you know? I started looking and reading this like one book, the outline for it, that was about this guy and this girl that were friends. And I was like, maybe. I was like, this is actually a really good idea. Speaking of Alice Oseman, it's kind of funny because it's very much like a book that Alice Oseman would write. Is it Osman? Osman? I don't know how to pronounce it, but I love her writing. I think I actually listened to most of her books last year at Christmas time. I feel like it was winter time when I finished her Radio Silence. That was the book that everybody talked about that got me started on her to begin with. And I can remember starting that book and I was like, I don't really want to read this. That's what I love. Looking at the world and thinking, God, there's so many books to read. There's so many movies to watch. There's so many TV series to watch. You know, artwork to hang on your walls. Flowers to buy and have in your kitchen. Foods to try. Books to write. Poems to write. There's so many things. Places to travel to. Even if it's just in your own town. I mean, there's so many things to do in your own town that you never. That's one of the things I really want to do this year. Is I really want Alex and I to take advantage of Indianapolis and really enjoy the things that Indianapolis has to offer. You know, like we had so much fun going to the art museum a couple times, you know, this year, and it would be really fun to do more of that. And I really want to take in the things that Indianapolis has to offer. We used to do a lot of like fun little weekend trips too. Like we would go down to Louisville for like just even a night, you know, or two. Or Chicago for a night or two. And I miss that. We have friends that live in Chicago, so it would be fun to go to Chicago. Maybe we'll do that this summer. Well, Alex always goes up there for music festivals. I'm like, in all honesty, like this is part of the problem is I'm such a homebody that like, if you said to me, okay, so put the dogs in the kennel, go to Chicago on a Friday and come back on a Sunday. Like to most people, that sounds like so much fun, doesn't it? Like to me, I'm like, oh my God, I would rather just stay in with my dogs for the whole weekend. No, like in all truth, I would. Like, don't get me wrong. I think it would be fun to go out or something like that, you know, for a weekend night every once in a while. I'm starting to feel like the last time that I went out. Was it the last time that I went out? When our friend Demi was in town. Like, I really was comfortable and I really had a good time doing that. I was like, I think I want to do more of that. like all the time, but I'm actually kind of excited to clean out my closet and get everything organized the way that I want it to be. And now that I have room for all of my shoes, I can buy more shoes. And no, that's what I told Alex. I said, now that I have room for all of my shoes, I can buy more shoes. He goes, no, you don't need more shoes. But I am going to arrange where, like, I have these shelves where I have t-shirts and stuff in it. I need to go through all these sweatshirts and sweaters and stuff too, because there's like sweatshirts in there that, like, I'm never going to wear again. But then I think, but what, maybe I have like this one sweatshirt. It's like the sweatshirt I look at every time I go into the closet, and I bought it like at Meijer or Walmart or something, and it's just a plain bright blue sweatshirt, but it's like a large, and I loved the way that it fit on me, so I bought it like in blue and then like in green, and like that is a big pickup truck. Look at that big red pickup truck, Silverado. I bought it like in red and I bought it in green. I do love pickup trucks so much, and I think just red, blue, and green. Maybe another color. I do love a good red hoodie though too. But I bought a couple hoodies in the last year, and so I got a bunch of stuff in my closet that I'm really excited to wear in spring and summer too. Things I bought last year. It's gonna be a good year. 2022 is gonna be an amazing year. I'm excited for it. Maybe I'll do a vision board party live stream this week. Should I on here? Okay. Let me know what you think about a live vision board party. If you think that would be a good idea, let me know. Okay. And like where we write our intentions and everything down. We could do that on Thursday night going into New Year's Eve. That's what we could do on Thursday night. Because I could do a live stream. And we could do like putting our intentions out there into the world and our wishes and our dreams. And you could do a vision board if you wanted to. So if you want to do that, put that in the comment section below, and I'll do that on Thursday. I'll do that on my main Peter Monn channel. So let me know if you want to do that. Anyway, all right, you guys, I'm going to get off here now. And I may start the Misfortune book tonight, just a little bit of it before I go home. Now I'm wide awake, and I don't want to go back into that nightmare. God, that was so scary. I wonder if it was something that I ate, because I was sitting there eating, like, God, I was craving like the weirdest foods. I was like eating like garlic blue cheese and feta cheese stuffed olives with cheese Totino's pizza and pub cheese with, you know, and then I like had all of this. I had chocolate cake from Costco that I'd taken to Caroline's. I had it in a container, and these Frango mints that somebody sent me, and then I also had like this caramel drizzled chocolate popcorn that I bought at the grocery store, and I was like, this is my dessert. It's probably all of that is why I had the nightmares that I had, and God, it was horrible though. So anyway, if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Monday. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love you. Oh, and for those that need to hear it, and those that want to hear it, and those that just happen to stick around, one more I love you. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya. Happy birthday, Lena. Bye. Bye. Love ya.